My name is David Tate, and I am one of the founders of GIEQs, gastroenterologist in Ghent in Belgium. I'm really excited to present this new initiative of GIEQs, actually, and I'm going to join some of the people who are going to make it possible. I'm going to invite them to join in just a second. The idea of this was to create a home for education in endoscopy and research therein. And I think this is a very important blank space. A lot of the endoscopy journals are not publishing this sort of material. A lot of the conferences are having trouble accepting this sort of material because it doesn't really align with the standard way that research has been done in endoscopy in the past. So we are pleased to make a home for this. It is our intention to make this a regular event. It is our intention to put this into our symposium and all of our other formats. And it is our intention to invite you, the audience out there, and those watching the website. When you watch this, maybe you watch this back later, to look at this and think, well, okay, that's actually quite a good idea. We did something like that, or we had this idea. Submit it. Let us have a look at it, and come to the table, and we will invite you to present on one of these webinars if we think the idea is very nice. Right. So can I just please invite those who will be presenting to share their screens. So we have three presenters tonight. The first presenter will be Andrea Sorgia from Milan in Italy. Welcome, Andrea. Say hi, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrea Sorgia. As David said, I'm a gastroenterologist from Milan and currently an interventional endoscopy fellow in Ghent.
Welcome, Andrea, and thank you very much for taking the time to do this. The second presenter will be Jan Portmans, a consultant gastroenterologist in UZ Brussels. That's University Hospital in the city of Brussels in Belgium. Please, Jan, introduce yourself.
Yes, hi. So indeed, I'm Jan Portmans, a consultant gastroenterologist from Brussels, also currently on a 2-year fellowship and a PhD trajectory in Ghent and Brussels. Happy to present our research today.
Thanks so much for joining and taking the time, Jan. And then I would also like to introduce Linda Bells, who is a consultant gastroenterologist in the city of Brussels in Belgium, to introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. And I think David mentioned the most important stuff already. So indeed, interventional endoscopist, finishing a PhD in endoscopy, and I will present a little piece of that tonight to you.
Great. Thanks so much, you three, for doing this and for taking this step into the unknown with me. I realize that this is an untried format, and I hope that everybody enjoys it. Right, so the format of tonight, I will just share it with you. The format of tonight will be to start this evidence base for everyday endoscopy. So there are going to be multiple studies presented. Each of the presenters is going to spend 6 or 7 minutes presenting their study. And then that we're going to highlight exactly where we think that the place of this study fits into endoscopic practice. We're going to discuss the implications potentially of that idea for future practice and introduce the concept that this might become a recurring theme in the GIEQs space in the future. And I do see that we also have the other two founders of GIEQs, who I am just going to introduce, but first we will let them share their screen and talk to us. So I don't know, Roland and John, maybe you can just turn your video on and introduce yourself before we come back to this.
Yeah, apologies, we've come on a bit late. We've just been on another meeting. My name is
You're very
Roland.
welcome, but you're right in the middle of the webinar, so great to have you with us. We would just introduce the concept that you, of course, both discussed with me for this webinar, and we're really excited to have you and your comment and your expertise here with us. So why don't you just briefly introduce yourselves, and then we'll continue. Roland?
My name is Roland Valori. I'm a gastroenterologist endoscopist in Cheltenham. I'm one of the founding members of GIEQs.
John?
And I'm John Anderson, repeat as above, really. Very excited about this. So this is something new, and we're really excited about this. When you read the literature, it's very interesting. There's always a breadth and a variety. And if we can drill down on some basic stuff here, there's some real opportunities. So it's a great innovation. I'm very excited, David.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for the positive words. So what I was saying is that we're going to have 6 or 7 minutes from each presenter. The first presenter is going to be Andrea. So I wonder if the other two can turn your video off so that we can hear the presentation of Andrea. Andrea is going to present for 6 or 7 minutes, and then we have prepared a whole host of questions for him, me, us, to discuss this further. So Andrea, without further ado, floor is yours for 10 minutes to present your study.
Thank you very much, David, and everyone. Can you see the screen, the
We
presentation?
can. Thank you very much. Perfect.
Okay, so let's start. We are going to talk about tip control. I'm going to talk about tip control. In particular, I'm going to talk about it through this study, which was submitted, is currently under review, entitled Endoscopic Tip Control Measured by a Snap Tip Soft Coagulation Training Model Correlates with Endoscopy's Profile and Therapeutic Expertise, or the HEM study, as we like to call it. And this also thanks to the great help of Lynn and all the group in Ghent. So why did we do this study? Because we thought, and we know that patient outcomes vary remarkably across different endoscopies. And we thought, why is that? So we generated multiple clinical questions. So what technical factors contribute to the variability in outcomes of basic endoscopic procedures? What differentiates the procedural outcomes of one endoscopist from another, despite having similar level of expertise? And what factors enable certain endoscopists to successfully perform complex procedures that others cannot? We started looking at surgical literature. So hand steadiness and coordination, so technical skills in surgery, has been clearly linked to procedural outcomes. And then we thought that endoscopy basically